Hey guys, it's Christian, also known as the guy from the pic, and you're watching Radioactive.
Hello, hello, Radioactive. It's Ian and Victoria here, and today we are joined by Christian Maravelis,
What's up,
also known
guys?
as the guy from the pic.
How are you guys doing?
Doing great.
We're doing good. Okay, so right off the bat here, Christian, what sparked your interest in wanting to be a photographer? Where did you get started?
Great question. I went to high school for film, and in my junior year, I think I focused more on the lighting aspect of side, like grip and electric, carpentry, and all that. Definitely interested me a lot, but I feel like the film industry itself was kind of not where I wanted to be. I don't know. It's like the film industry has a lot going on, and it's like super stressful, I feel like for me, but I liked music a lot as well, as we all do. So I kind of started there and doing like local shows, trying to photograph that. It was definitely a lot different because of lighting and all this stuff. So it was a learning curve for sure. Um, then I started doing for publications and magazines and all of that stuff, getting into these bigger level bands. And then from there, I landed the first tour, obviously with Black Veil, which was honestly really surprising for a first one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
But
was your first tour.
yeah, it was insane.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
Thank
We're
you.
pretty we're pretty big Blackfield fans. Like that, it's my favorite band personally.
Yeah.
They're sick.
They're
And I see
awesome.
the little czar behind you over there, Victoria.
And Black Veil. And Black
Oh,
Veil again. Where's my finger? I don't know.
and WWE.
Yep. Oh, big WWE fan. Ian was making fun of me earlier.
I'm going in and out of WWE, but it's honestly you're gonna always have a chokehold on me, like
Yep.
those things.
Yeah, I've been a fan of it for about I think it'll be like 8 years coming
Oh,
up this
wow.
year. Yeah.
I see you have the Trinity of Terror shirt on too.
Yeah, buddy. Absolutely. I wouldn't want it any
Rocking it
other
all.
way. It's crazy because this is my dream tour and it happened. I kind of just had a passing
That's
thought
exactly
one
what
night.
I'm saying. Like if I don't know if this is a question that you're gonna ask, but like a dream tour for me, that would have been it. Like I don't know
Yeah?
what can top it, to be honest. It hasn't processed much, but I don't know like if there's any other tour that I would love to have been on. So I'm very grateful for that one.
I could not
Oh,
get one of those
absolutely.
shirts. They went so fast at the show I went to, and I didn't get one. But I do have
There
the
was some like
poster. I got the signed
extra,
poster.
see, I have like none of that. On the third leg, there was some of the extra VIP shirts, and I think I was gonna get one on the last day and I totally forgot. It was so like hectic. And then now I regret it because probably will never get one unless I go on like Depop or something.
Mhm.
I think they were selling them for a while on Trinity of Terror tour website.
Yeah, Black
I
Veil
think
had some and
the first
Motionless
one,
had
like,
some, I think, that they were selling.
I think it was only for the first and second leg or
Yeah.
something though.
So
Oh,
we got a lot more questions about Trinity of Terror tour coming up. But
Yeah.
first, we just want to know, you've shot a few bands. You've done photography for quite a few bands. Who would you say are some of your favorite bands that you've were able to capture?
Hmm. I feel like, wow, that's hard. Um, Avatar was one of the really cool ones. I posted one earlier today. Just because their energy and like stage presence is like unreal. I don't know. Like they have all their lights and they're just a cool band to photograph. Another one, man, I feel like I'm gonna have to take a deep dive in my photos or something. But I feel like Fit for a King, super high energy. They're
I just went and saw them
super high energy.
last Sunday.
They're great. I haven't seen them in like 3, 4 years. But like Ryan on his bass, crazy.
Dude, the bass was the best freaking part of the show because he's just up there, he's rocking back and forth, and then he does the thing where he throws his bass around and
And he
catches
goes in
it
the crowd
over
now
and
too.
over again.
He's insane. His energy is crazy. I feel like just any high energy kind of band that they kind of give you the shot to. Wage War is another one. Seth from Wage War, he's always like up in the camera, like, and they're a great band. They're amazing. So I feel like those are maybe the top three. All of them have been great, but I just like the super high energy and like when they're kind of giving you the photo as well.
Mhm.
Kind of lean into it and do something interesting for the camera. I feel like that does it for me.
Hell yeah, man. We're talking a lot about the Trinity of Terror tour, Christian. How was your experience, man? Like, what was your favorite part? What was maybe a setback that happened during the tour? Do you have any crazy, like, out of pocket, like, experiences that happened at all that you can think
Um,
of?
so I'll start with, I guess, how it was. It was unreal. I mean, I still don't think that process for me being a tour. Um, but I think, let's see. I mean, it was really fun, to be honest. And it was all crazy, obviously being a big tour. Um, but I feel like as a photographer standpoint, it was one of the most fun and interesting shows because you have every band on there is crazy. So there's nights that I took photos of Motionless, some nights of Atreyu, and like just getting to see all those different bands every night. It's kind of surreal. And then even some of the bigger shows, I think Orlando was like the biggest one with like 7,000 or something. And Minnesota had like 6,500 people, but that armory in Minnesota was insane. And I have a clip of Slaughterhouse from like the balcony of that venue. And just, I guess, hearing all those people like scream the words, it's kind of like insane. I mean, we've all been to the shows, so we know how it is.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
But I feel
Yeah.
like being in that, like, being around all that energy every day is kind of, it's all positive and it's all fun. And I know there has been a few times, I don't think Black Veil has rescheduled any of the shows, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think we've had any issues, but um, there's definitely times that, like, I mean, I know they were supposed to go to Canada. I didn't end up going because I didn't have my passport at the moment. But I think there was a storm in Buffalo that caused one of the shows to be canceled. And there has been times where some of the bands have been sick, and it wasn't the best when not every band gets to play. I feel like it throws everything off, and obviously you don't want people to be feeling upset or being sick.
Right.
And then I think another time for me, I would say, like, there has been a few shows where people were going down, I guess, because heat exhaustion or something. And that's made Black Veil set go short one time. We think they played like 10, 15 minutes. And it kind of like sucks seeing people like go down like that. And there was one that was down for like quite a bit of time. I think they were ended up being okay. Like they got escorted out. But I feel like I don't know what was going on that day, but it it was unfortunate to see like a bunch of people going down at once.
Mhm.
I think that was like one of the major setbacks because it's happened at a few shows.
Oh, yeah. No, it has. Uh, Part two, I went to Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm from St. Louis, and I traveled to Cincinnati, Ohio to go see Andy's hometown show. And during Motionless in White set, there was a girl. And so I'll tell you who was in the mix. there was a big clump of us, right? For the first two sets, there was a clump. Actually, I think Ruth went up and sat with Chris and Amy. But it was me, Cassidy, Brandon, Jasmine, Becca, a couple other people, and my friend Jasmine was standing, I think, in front of me. And there was a girl, and I guess she was overheated. Because she threw up on my friend Jasmine.
Oh,
and I kept looking up at Chris, like Chris Motionless is up on stage playing, and I keep trying to flag him down. I'm like, dude, you gotta stop the show. Stop the show. Which I don't know. Maybe that wasn't, I don't know if they necessarily stopped for that. I mean, maybe to
I
try
think
and
if
escort
they realize they kind of do, but there's a lot of times where sometimes they might not have realized that something's going on. Because I feel like on the third
Right.
leg, they were pretty good at stopping.
Yeah.
And making
Mhm.
sure everyone was taken care of before starting again. Big crowds like that, it's kind of difficult to spot everyone, unfortunately.
The show that I had went to, that was on leg 1 in Edmonton, and during Motionless in White, someone passed out in the mosh pit and they got trampled. And Chris saw
Yeah.
that, and they did stop the show for that. And she ended up leaving in a wheelchair, and it was like, holy shit. Like, yeah, like I think they got trampled like bad, but yeah, happens a lot at shows.
That's
Like
always the most unfortunate
yeah,
part.
I just went to the Rockzilla tour with Papa Roach, and there were a lot of people just passing out. There were so many people.
I feel like it's happening more recent than usual, which is weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, what happened at so it's funny you say Fit for a King is one of your favorites because I actually just went and saw them with Alpha Wolf, Northlane, and Kingdom of Giants. And I remember
Great.
Northlane was playing, and I just kind of stood back with my buddy because we were both like, fuck, dude, we gotta hang back for a sec. And there are these people trying to get like, so there are stairs that go down to the pit, and a girl was being carried out, and I jumped in, I like grabbed her, and we like helped her out, and she just was passed out, and we couldn't like wake her up, and it was kind of scary. So yeah, I feel like more now more than ever, it's happening a lot.
Yeah, it's a really weird thing. It happened to me kind of at I saw Born of Osiris and Vila Maya, and that was like one of the shows I didn't photograph, so I was just kind of it was a long time since like actually being in the pit. So I was going crazy a little bit. Victims was also there. They're also really great. But I think it was during Vila Maya. I was like in the circle pit, whatever, just going crazy because they're all insane. And I started feeling it like I was gonna just pass out. So I kind of just sat down and like in like the bar area for a little bit. And I just couldn't make it to Born of Osiris, unfortunately. I was like, if I don't leave now, I feel like I might have some sort of thing, and I don't want that to happen. So
Mhm.
I feel like that's a thing with
just
a lot of
really,
people, though. They'll just keep going. Like, because I know when during Falling in Reverse, I really like
it
Falling in
makes
Reverse.
sense.
So I was going pretty hard for Falling in Reverse, like singing and jumping and stuff. And I started feeling kind of lightheaded. So I kind of took it down a little bit. But some people just keep going and they don't notice that they're feeling really hot or lightheaded and they'll just keep going. So I think that's a big thing too.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. You're paying money to be there, and you obviously don't want to miss out on it. So I
Yeah.
totally understand. I guess figure yourself out and know your limits.
Mhm.
And if you're not, just kind of move like along, get some water, take a chill for like 5 minutes, see how you feel. For me personally, I feel like that's what's worked.
So one thing I kind of found that works for me is a lot of people welcome it. I did this at the first part of Trinity of Terror. I took my shirt off and I tied it around my waist. I had a hoodie on and a shirt on underneath it because we were in Chicago and Chicago was just freezing for no reason at all. And I just took everything off, tied it around my waist, and I was just rocking black skinny jeans with Freddy Krueger Vans and a headband. and I was shirtless, and it just really helped me like cool off. And of course, you don't want to be like rub it up on people, but I mean, everybody does it. And at that point, it's just like, come here, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, I've definitely had some of those moments. I don't think I've personally done that, but like I've known people that have, and it's totally fine. I mean, everyone's there having fun, especially at like Rockville on festivals like that, where it's outside and super hot in the middle of May.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
The last
Oh,
show
yeah.
I just went to, they were
Right.
filling up pitchers of water and they were just throwing it into the crowd. They were just
Oh wow.
dousing people with water. It was very nice.
I think at Rockville they had a hose at one point.
I
don't
wish
know,
they had a
think
hose.
Spirit Box was playing and there was just a hose going over the gate, from what I remember.
Didn't they do that at Warp Tour for a while? They had like cooling stations, and then they'd like have a water slide and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
That's
all
a
the
vibe.
monster, the free monster. Just
Oh.
terrible.
Those were the good times. Those were the good
It was, but it
times.
was, looking back, it's very terrible. So I would have like 4 of those things in an hour, probably.
So, Christian, you have worked with a lot of cool bands. Who is an artist or a band that you would love to work with in the future that you haven't yet?
Hmm. Wow. See, because Motionless is always one of my favorite bands, so that is where it's like I feel like I'm already there, and I don't know what could possibly go after, but I feel like I haven't seen Sleep Token yet, and I know that they're a huge thing right now,
Mhm.
and I feel like they'd be really cool with all the masks to kind of shoot. Slipknot, maybe Avenged Sevenfold, just those like bands that I grew up on. I don't really listen to Avenged Sevenfold anymore so much, but I feel like being able to shoot them would be like a milestone, like a childhood band for me. So maybe
I
that.
tell you what, have you ever been to a Slipknot show, Christian?
I've been to once. I've been to Knotfest in 2019, but I didn't get to experience the pit, sadly.
Did you see them? Was that when they were with Gojira and Volbeat?
Yep, and I think Behemoth was also on there, maybe.
Yeah, buddy. I tell you what, that was wild, man.
Or Jira is
Oh,
great too.
oh
I'm
yeah,
glad I
no,
got to see him then.
absolutely.
And it was a weird
My
lineup because
cousin,
Volbeat didn't fit so well, but everyone loved them, which is great because they're a good band.
yeah, I feel like Volbeat's such a slept-on band, dude.
Definitely.
Mhm.
I just feel like for that lineup, it was like a wild card thrown in there, but it worked out really well. Everyone
Oh, it
kind of
did.
respected them and was listening to them. So
Oh yeah. Volbeat is just that band that you don't really hear of, like you don't really hear that name too often, and they're actually, dude. I was listening to them and watching them, and I was like bobbing my head. I'm like, these guys are pretty good, man. They're a
yeah, I
little
feel like they would
country.
fit well with like a Alter Bridge or some other band like that too. That'd be a great tour. I don't know if they've done that before, but I feel like
Or
I'm
maybe like
into it.
Pantera,
What was that?
Pantera, maybe Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah, those could work.
That'd be
Even
kind of a
Nickelback.
vibe.
Nickelback is one of those
Yes. Oh,
fun. I
yeah.
hope you guys
Nah,
can do
dude.
it. They're
The
great.
shoe fits. I mean, for Nickelback, yeah.
I don't get the hate towards them.
I don't
I
either.
don't either. I really don't. And being in Canada, like they're a Canadian band, and people just throw so much shade to them up here, and I don't get it. I never did.
Like they're a great band. I feel like we've all listened to it. Same thing with Daughtry and like all those other bands from that era. I feel like maybe it just became mainstream and people just decided to make fun of it. I have no idea.
But it's funny because you'll ask people why they don't like Nickelback, and they can't give you a solid answer. It's just, oh, they suck.
And then you could
It's like, well,
you could sing
why?
like 10 different songs.
Like no one can give you a good answer.
Every time Burn It to the Ground comes on, I lose my mind. It's such a
Maybe
banger.
it's the WWE part of us that
Probably.
makes us like them.
Probably.
I'm just gonna say this. I'm sorry. Everyone's probably gonna shoot me down. I just can't get behind WWE. I really can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I
I
got my Drew
okay.
McIntyre. Drew McIntyre's gonna come and give you a Claymore kick in the face. You just need to stop that.
No, I mean it's totally fine because I have my phases of going in and out of it. I just feel like occasionally I'll go back to
Yeah.
it. I
I
don't
just
watch it
started
every week
watching it again.
anymore. It's just one of those
Maybe
things.
yeah, no, it's just one of those things. You're absolutely right. And part of that could be because of my trauma. So when I was little, my cousin Jacob and I would wrestle and he would Batista bomb me into the couch. And I just kind of had a resentment for WWE since then. It could be it.
That's fair.
So you have a podcast, right? If I
Yeah.
recall correctly.
Yeah.
So how did that all start? What was the main inspiration for starting a podcast?
I feel like I haven't been the greatest with it. I'm trying to keep up, but it's hard to get guests and all this stuff. I'm sure you guys can relate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When I started it, maybe in like early 2020, I started doing it with like a publication that I was doing at the time. And so I had some people on there. I think I had Ricky Armelino from Ice Nine. I had um Opus. He's a great drummer. I had a few people on there, but then I started to just do it on my own after the publication. And it was just a lot to kind of get together. And I feel like I'm not the best at speaking, but I finally found my friend Lils. She's great. But we started doing it kind of as like a little our own little thing, not really getting anywhere with it, just doing it just more so to talk and just have fun. It was fun for us. And then we just got Ricky Olson on last week, so that was fun. So it's something I'm just trying to just do on my free time and just to get out of my comfort zone kind of and talk more and have some fun.
That's what happened with me and Ian. I had this podcast. I think I started it in 2020 as well. And I would just interview people, but I don't know. I was kind of a bit more on the shy side when talking to people. So then
Mhm.
Ian came in, and now he's just turned the place upside down.
You're both great at this though. Like I've watched your episode with Chevy that you just did. Pretty great.
Oh, thank
Like-
you. That's great.
Thank
love-
you.
What advice would you give to struggling photographers?
So struggling within like concert photography or
Yeah,
just in general?
Just to people that are looking to get into the industry.
So I know people hear like the same thing all the time, like, oh, start local, blah, blah, blah. So I feel like, yes, start local to kind of like experiment and kind of find your own like ground of it, like your own style of it. Everyone has a bunch of different things, whether it's with the lighting being super all these weird tones or black and white or whatever it may be. I feel like just experiment there, build up your portfolio and just kind of learn. And then for me, I did the whole publication route and I feel like that worked well for getting into bigger shows and less of the local stuff. So I would say definitely just even if it's a small publication, a few hundred followers, whatever it is, you're more than likely going to get into some shows that are like major and big. That's how I shot the first Trinity of Terror show, and for like one, it was through publication. So I feel like when you do those, you're just kind of even reaching yourself out more, and people are going to see those photos and be like, "Oh, they shot so and so," and I feel like that's what's going to kind of make it. I feel like I don't have that much experience touring wise, even though it was a major tour. I feel like I just can't give major advice on that because I'm still learning myself. But I feel like I recently started kind of cold emailing, cold messaging, and trying to just do the thing. So I feel like that could also work.
Mhm.
Sorry, give me 1 second
Okay.
here. This is kind of stupid. This is my friend Cindy. She's asking me if I want anything from Taco Bell, and I'm very hungry. So,
Very important
that
question. Honestly.
That is
yeah,
important. That is valid. You can
You
continue.
got you
Thank
got to
you.
eat.
so valid. Oh my God.
The bigger
Okay.
question is,
Taco
what
Bell
are you
order.
getting?
Yeah.
What am I getting?
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. To answer that question, I want to know what your favorite thing to get from Taco Bell is, Christian.
I feel like a chalupa, pretty good. Or a taco supreme classic. I don't know. I'm not too picky when it comes to things, or I feel like those are pretty bomb.
Okay, so
And you
Mountain
can't
Dew
forget the
Baja
Baja
Blast,
Blast.
yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes! Yes! Yes, Christian, my man. Oh my God. Thank
I mean, if
you.
anyone's going there and not getting a Baja Blast, whether it be the freezing one or whatever it is, something might be up. I don't know if I can trust you.
Oh my God. Yes.
But now what's
Oh,
your
dude. I tell you what, they need to quit bringing nacho fries back and then taking them off, then bringing them back and then taking them out.
I don't think I've had them.
Really?
Yeah. I know I have the loaded tots that they had recently or whatever it is. Got some sort of loaded tots. Those are pretty good.
I
But
can do anything with potatoes, dude. Anything.
oh, is that what it was? The potatoes?
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, like anything that has to do with potatoes, like, you sold me. Let's do it. Like, you know what I mean?
But I think they also had like loaded potatoes recently. I think you might be right. Like something like that. I heard it wasn't the best, sadly. I could be wrong. I don't know. Just be
What did you
talking
get
about
though?
this.
I want to know what you
What did
got.
I get?
Yeah.
Oh, I got a cheese quesadilla, spicy potato soft taco, and a Baja Blast. Solid.
You're gonna kill me, Ian. I've never had Taco Bell.
You gotta be kidding me.
We don't have a Taco Bell in Regina.
They
Lady
don't
parts.
exist there?
No. Well, I think we have them in Canada, but we don't have a lot in Saskatchewan, which is very sad. We have Taco Time. I've never been there either, though. And now I feel like I'm missing out. I gotta go to
Find
Taco
yourself
Bell.
a taco.
I will.
You need a review.
Okay. I'm gonna follow up this interview with my Taco Bell review.
I think you should. I think you should put it on the TikTok page or something.
I will. I'm missing out.
We did the Sprite challenge. I think
How
a week or two
stupid
ago.
was that, hey?
That was stupid.
Like what is that?
You chug a can of Sprite or a bottle, and then you pretty much just burp a lot. It's the stupidest
Because
thing.
I've seen more with like Sprite and the banana or
Mhm.
something, and you throw up or something like that. I've seen
I
that
do
one.
that one. I will not be doing that one.
Giving terrible ideas.
I got a story for that. Okay, so we had this buddy growing up. His name was Dylan Baker, and you could just get him to do the dumbest shit, and he'd do it. And I had all my buddies over at my mom and dad's one night, and we were like, Dylan, you gotta drink the Sprite as quick as you can, and then eat a banana. We opened the curtains. You could see the backyard. we threw open the curtains and he's just back there throwing up all over
Oh,
the
no.
So it works.
it worked.
Thankfully, I don't need to test it then. I've done the ghost pepper chip thing or whatever that
Oh, the one chip?
challenge. Yeah, I had to do that on the second day of Trinity, actually.
Oh no.
I think it was just after the show. And then one of the lighting guys came on the bus and he's just like, they're doing the one chip challenge. And I'm like, oh, this is it. This is how I get like this is my hazing. And I was just being stupid, but I did it. Had I think Lonnie gave me a small piece. And then after that, I was like, oh, that's nothing. I got a bigger one. And everyone was just like, hell fucking no. I did that. And like 30 minutes later, my stomach was just hating me, hating life that big. It was, that was a lot. Like it wasn't hot. It wasn't like terribly hot. It was just disgusting. And then like afterwards, it kind of hit. But like I was able to eat it, no problem. I don't know if you had the same issue.
Eating like just anything after.
No, just like eating the chip in general. I feel like that wasn't difficult for me. Like it wasn't hot, but after like 15, 30 minutes, whatever it was, that's when I was like, oh God, this sucks.
Yeah, I think so. Thinking back, I think eating it, it was a little dry, and then I was able to get it down. And then my buddy and I were just a couple of pussies the entire way through. We had a jug of milk, and we were just like, "I'm never doing this again."
I think for me, it was an adrenaline thing where I was like, all right, I can't bitch out at this. I have to like do it. Like it was like the second day. So I was just like, all right, I think it was Lonnie, Cece, Yanni, Rich, and like our lighting guy. But I was just like, I have to do this. Like, I can't if I bitch out, like they're just gonna make fun of me or something. So I did it, and then it hit.
So I think to move on to the next question here, this is actually probably a pretty good segue about getting made fun of to a certain extent, but also like I can see the difference in all in good fun versus like getting picked on. Christian, what would you so let's say for example you have a nephew or a niece and they're in middle school, right? Do you have any nieces or nephews?
I don't.
Um, if you had like a little cousin or something like that and they were going through day after day just getting harassed and bullied in school, getting made fun of, what kind of advice would you give them and why?
I feel like I would kind of be like, I would kind of be there for them, but at the same time, I would kind of just say that, like, don't stand up for that. Like, we don't put up with that shit. Like, just kind of tough it out in a way. I know that sounds wrong, but like, for me personally, I feel like I'm that person where I just don't really care about other people's opinions or what other people think or say about me. So I feel like if I were to give advice, I'd kind of give it a little of like a like fuck them, you know, like do whatever makes you happy. Do you just keep pushing and do your own thing. If they're not happy with whatever you are doing or whatever you're putting out into the world, then just you need to like just do it for yourself kind of thing. I don't know
Yeah,
if that's good advice or not.
no, Christian, that's right on the money, man. Um, when I was in high school, I got picked on a lot, and even like I'm 23, I'm almost 24, and I still have people like hassling me on social media. And what you just said right there, that's exactly the mentality that A, I have, but B, I mean, everybody should have that. Like, look at the way we're dressed right now, the three of us, right?
Hmm.
Look at the way that we're dressed. We have gauges in our ears. I'm sure. Christian, you probably do your nails black, right? Time to time.
Yeah, they're a little chipped now. Don't know if you can see well, but
See, exactly, right? And we're the ones that get made fun of, yet here we are making these great feats in our lives.
it's very true. I feel like you just kind of gotta roll with the punches, I guess. Unfortunately, if people suck. There always will be like a small group of people that won't be happy with whether your appearance or like just something that you're doing, even photography, and people haven't like seen it as a real job or this or that or something. So it's kind of just like you have to give those people a big fuck you and not care so much. There has been people in the past that like have said stuff about the gauges, that said stuff about my nails. Cause I used to get acrylics too sometimes. And even then people would be like, oh, you have the pills to be a boy, you have this to be, and I'm just like, what? What is like wrong with you? None of that makes any sense. Like, I see myself as a boy. There's nothing wrong if you don't, whatever. Like, it's totally fine too, but it's just like, what makes you think that it's okay to judge someone for having something? It's not your money, it's not your body. Like, who cares? It just makes no sense. And I've seen it on Twitter a bunch. It's kind of stopped now, but just like everyone bullying someone for something stupid, and it just these are people that they don't even know. They're
Mhm.
just random people online, and it's annoying.
We have a few just kind of like stupid, silly questions to end the interview
Go on.
off. So, if you were a superhero, what would your superhero name be and why?
Wow. I'm like the worst at these. Um,
I suck at doing names.
it's always hard. I'm just sitting here and it's the most simple thing too.
Or if you can't think of a name, superpower. What superpower would you want?
Superpower, definitely teleportation. I think about it all the time of how simple life would be if you could just like fuck, we could all do this podcast together, like in person.
Mhm.
If that was the thing, I could go to any show I wanted to. I could even go to space or something. That would be cool. Um, but for name, I think Andy has once called me Camera Boy, and I feel like it's just
Just
fitting.
camera.
Camera Boy for a superhero. I know it's not a superhero name, but I
But
feel
it
like it's
could
just
be.
could be and funny. Camera Boy. Yeah,
Well, I guess you kind of answered the question already. Next question was, would you fly to the moon if given the opportunity?
absolutely. Like, if I could get to space in this lifetime, I would. I know it's very unlikely, being that I have no knowledge on any of that stuff. But maybe one day. I know there's that like hotel that's coming around at some point, right? That'll like go to the moon.
Mhm.
But that's also very unlikely because I'm not a millionaire.
This is very important. This is a really important question.
This is the most important question of this interview.
No, it's
Christian.
not. The last question I have is the most important. The one that we were talking about earlier. That's the most important one. You'll
Oh.
remember when I ask it. Yeah, that one's really important. But this one's second important. Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I hope that's a good answer and the answer you wanted. I like them both, but
I'm not gonna lie. I
I
was
don't think
thinking you were
Victoria
a
like
cat
that one.
person for some reason.
Really?
Most emo guys and girls are cat people.
I mean, yeah, I just have a dachshund and I like dogs a lot more because I feel like they're more playful and whatever. But I do like cats a lot, like Persian cats and Sphinx. Like if I can find a Sphinx cat, I want one so bad.
I don't know. I gotta go cats.
I'm both. I mean, I grew up around beagles and my mom and dad's, so it's kind of my thing.
Actually, if it's my own dog, I'm okay with it, but random people's dogs, I get kind of like, because sometimes they like to jump on you and stuff. Big dogs kind of scare me.
I love that though. I love that
Or
when
you
they're
like the little
jumping over.
dogs. Little dogs like to hump things, and it's like, just get away from me, because then they try to like hump your leg. I'm just not here for it.
But I feel like some cats are like not as friendly. Like you'll
Mhm.
want to go pet a cat and they're just like run away.
Yeah.
But I know that there's other cats that are all up on you, and I've slept out like my cousins who had a bunch of cats, and I'd wake up to cat ass in my face. So I feel like I like both, but I'm biased because of my dog.
Oh, dogs and humping things. That's just my favorite quality about a dog. I swear, dude, I'm easily amused. I
Cats
love
are
watching
insane,
dogs hump things. It's hilarious.
but then cats are insane, so I don't know. Like when cats get the zoomies or whatever it is, and just jumping all over things, and like 2 a.m. and
Yeah.
you hear cats wrecking fucking havoc. Both interesting characters. I'll
Mhm.
just go with both, like Ian.
Christian, I guess we'll go ahead and I'll do the last one, and then Victoria, you're gonna do the one.
The one. Yep.
Okay. If you could have dinner with any celebrity, dead or alive, who would it be and why? And I'm gonna kick it up a notch. Who would you want to start a successful business with and why?
Is that also a celebrity?
So you're going to sit down, you're going to have dinner with this person, and then you're going to start a business with this person, dead or alive.
Hmm. Now I have to think about it like double as much as I would have. Um, I feel like, hmm, Matthew Lillard. I don't know. I feel like he's just would be the most funniest fucking person to have dinner with. And I don't know too much about him, like business wise, because I don't really watch TV or movies or anything pop culture so much. So I feel like my dog's barking. Um, I feel like he'd probably be a good businessman, and I mean, he's obviously successful and one of the coolest people in horror. So I think Matthew Lillard. Then I'd
Yes,
do the
sir.
Shaggy impression. I'd have him like do the Shaggy impression or something because God, that man is cool.
Are you ready for the question, Ian?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm ready.
You got to be ready. This is a big one.
This is a big
So
one.
I assume you've played Mario Kart before. Please tell me you
Yes.
have. Okay, good, because I was going to be very disappointed if you didn't. Who is your favorite Mario Kart character? Who are you picking?
I feel like Smash Bros would have made me better. Mario
Oh,
Kart.
that'd be good too. Follow-up
Feel,
question with Smash Bros too.
Okay.
all right.
Yeah. No, please. I want to hear this.
Yes. Um, so for Mario Kart, I feel like I'm normally I would go Bowser or I would go. I haven't played in such a long time, but I feel like Bowser is always my go-to. Um, and if not Bowser, I think Baby Peach was also a go-to for some odd reason, but I feel like those two.
I like those two answers. And now for Smash Bros. Who are you picking?
Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. Kirby, because I'm an absolute asshole, where I just swallow people and then jump off the map.
Oh, I hate it when people do that. That's my pet peeve, dude. I hate that shit so much. You have no idea.
Or even better, Donkey Kong. Grab him and throw him off the map. Yeah, I'm that asshole. I'm sorry. I am that person Ian hates.
I tell you what, Captain Falcon, Pitt, Fox. If I'm feeling feisty, I might do Lucario, Charizard, and then Falco.
Those are all great. I feel like I would also be a Bayonetta. Bayonetta if I'm playing serious. I know that they kind of nerfed her a little, which is totally fine. She was a
Yeah,
little OP in the beginning,
yeah. Kind of
but
questionable too. Like you know, you know, you get it. You get it. I mean, okay.
I'm not
So
sure I'm
here's the
getting.
thing. Here's the thing. Have you ever played Resident Evil Village?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so there's this character, and they knew what they were doing. The game designers knew what they were doing when they designed this 9 foot tall vampire wine MILF monster lady and 3 young, hot goth emo daughters. They knew exactly what they were doing.
I feel like the same thing goes with like Samus.
Yes.
Exactly what they were doing.
Yes.
Samus was like one of the crushes, I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
This took a turn.
It, that's okay.
It usually does.
It always does.
Christian, before we go, what we like to do is we like to sign in ASL band names or other things that pertain to what we're talking about. So we're gonna do your Instagram name, and I gotta make sure I got this right here.
That's honestly very cool. I've never seen anyone do that before, and I feel like it's important to know because I don't know any of like ASL stuff, and I feel like it's honestly something that a lot of people should know.
Hmm.
It is.
Really cool
It
to
just
do that.
makes somebody's day when you know how to sign in ASL, especially in the deaf community. I'm a student, like I said, at UMSL, and for my degree, you have to have a foreign language, and that's what I decided to go with. And I'm 2 semesters in, and I'm so happy.
That's great. It's awesome. I've seen someone at, I think it was Atlanta, they had an ASL interpreter, and I was just kind of trying to watch because I've seen it before at shows, but I've never, not at like something like Black Veil or Motionless. So I was kind of just trying to like watch and see, and it was really interesting and cool to see that people are
Oh,
out there
it
doing
was.
so.
All right. So, are you ready?
I'm gonna try.
Okay. So, we're going to do Guy first. Guy.
Did I get that?
From. Oh, I'm sorry. What did you ask?
Did I get that?
Yeah. So, you just do this right here. Touch your thumb to your forehead and then go down to your chest. And then from,
Um,
I think, hold on really quick. Let me just double check on picture here.
I don't know how you remember all this, Ian.
Yep. Okay. So picture.
It's like a C.
C above your head
Huh?
going into your open hand. Yep. So if you ever wanted to walk up to somebody and be like, hey guys, check this shit out. Guy from pick.
so it's Guy from, is it open or it's closed? It's closed.
Touching, yeah, so touching the tips of your fingers. No thumbs, just like this right here. There you go. Yeah, and then pick.
Sure.
So the C has to be facing outwards.
Am I doing this wrong?
Oh, you got it. There you go. And then down, facing out like this. There you
Okay, so
go.
it stays.
Yep.
Cool, cool. I
Yeah.
got it. That's interesting. Thank you for that because it's honestly really cool.
No problem, man. Thank you, Christian.
No, thank you guys. It's been fun.
No, this is a blast, man. We're gonna have to do this again. Do the wave.
Do the wave. We gotta do the wave that we were doing before.